Every week, the stock market move is in play. The market has a mind of its own, and it's hard to try to outguess what the market is doing. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you play this market? One day at a time. The Fed said economic recovery is still below pre-pandemic levels. Interest rates will remain unchanged, and we have an accommodative, dovish Fed. Join me as I show you how to navigate the market with confidence. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our YouTube Live Trending Thursday. Good afternoon. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always glad to be here. Love Trending Thursdays. If you can hear me and everything is good and Joey's doing his job, you should be able to hear me. Type of VV Nation in the room. That's what I call all my VectorVest people. All my people who are part of our YouTube live channel, you are all known as VV Nation. Stand up, be proud. Let me hear you. Let me see you stream that across my screen. Everybody can see everybody's chat. So put that in the room. Let me know that everything is good. I love my VV Nation. You guys are awesome. I love that you guys are supporting our social media. Tagging me on Instagram and on Twitter. So, man, I just started up those, and I'm getting a lot of followers already. And I put a lot of things in there throughout the day. If you're looking for me on either Twitter or on Instagram, look for Glenn Tompkins Jr. Glenn Tompkins, G-L-E, 2 N's, no H in Tompkins, Tompkins. And using that all together with trying to promote the VectorVest social media, it all works hand in hand. All right, so I am so glad that you're all here. For those of you who are brand new, what is Trending Thursday? Well, Trending Thursday is all about finding newsworthy stocks, making the news. We use the power of the VectorVest software to analyze those stocks and give you some guidance. Are those good stocks to get into? Or maybe some of them may be stocks that you may not want to get into at this particular point in time, but they are making the news. Now, I need you guys to do me a favor, okay? I want you guys to put this link for this stream on your social media. I am trying to grow this tremendously, and you guys can help me to do that. Just to let you know, we get on average about 5,000 views. I want to see for our next week coming up if we can get 6,000 plus views. Number 2, we are podcastable. That's a good word, isn't it, Joey? Or is it Glennism? We are also on podcasts, so you can go to any podcast medium you want to. Look for Trending Thursday. Look for Trending Thursday, and you can podcast. You can listen at any time you want to the podcast. Share that with your friends as well. All right, so with that being said, thank you all for being here. I'm going to give a little hands off to you. I have my own soundboard. My producer, say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
Joey is my producer. He's the guy in the background, sitting in the background. One day you're going to get to see him. We're going to see. Yeah, Joey says no. One day we're going to get to see him. How about this? We got a lot of people in the room. If I'm going to put this out there, I'm going to set a number high, though. If we can get 500 likes today, I'm going to get Joey on the screen. 500 likes, we will get Joey on screen today. So with that, let's go see if we can make that happen. I'm setting the bar way high. As someone typed in the room, Jay, type mug. If you look below this video, we do have a VectorVest store, and you can buy your very own VectorVest mug. All right, so take advantage of that. So
there's also the face mask in there too.
There's a face mask? What face mask? We got a face mask? We got a VectorVest face mask in there? Wow, I didn't know that. We have a VectorVest face mask so that you can do what needs to be done to stay politically correct. Put a VectorVest mask on. Stop typing mug. Why are they typing mug in the room, Joey? I'm not giving away a mug today. Well, maybe if I get 600 likes, I'm going to give away 2 mugs. How about that? All right, if I get 600 likes, I'm going to give away 2 mugs. But if I get 500 likes, I'm going to get Joey on screen. All right, so let's get right into it. Every week we start off the session with market timing. Why? Because market timing is the most important thing when investing in the stock market. The market's got to be moving in your direction, or better yet, you need to be investing on the right side of the market. And we use the VectorVest software to help us to determine where the market is. Where the market is. How everybody's typing mug. Stop doing that. Don't type mug. Well, in order to win the mug, you gotta have to type mug in the room, I guess. All right. Well, we got to get to 600 likes first.
Mr. Consulting typed face mask.
Why did you type face mask? If you want a face mask, you can purchase a face mask. All right. So we always start off with market timing. Let's get into the software and let's take a look at what's going on our homepage. For those of you who are brand new, once again, thank you for joining us. And if you do not have access to the VectorVest software, Joey's going to type a link in the room. If you like what you see and you want to take a trial out to VectorVest, 99 cents for 30 days. Joey put the link in the room. Click on that. All right, click on that. And before we get started, if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel, especially if this is your first time here. Support the channel, especially if you like the content. Support the channel by liking, subscribing, and what's the last thing? Comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you, Joey. Joey keeps me in line. So we're looking at the home page. The VectorVest software is unique in that we can help you determine what's going on in the market at any given time. At any given time. So looking at this home page, we can see what all of the major indices are doing today. We have a mixed market. The NASDAQ is slightly up. Earlier this morning, everything was down and down kind of big. But now the NASDAQ is bringing the market to a point of a mixed market, up about 0.5%, where the Dow is down almost 1%. The S&P is down about 0.3% combined, and our VectorVest composite is down 30.3% or 0.3%. What is the VectorVest composite? Well, that's the indicator that we use to time the market. Today, we're tracking 8,214 stocks, and the VectorVest composite is looking at an indexed arithmetic average of all of those stocks. Today, that arithmetic average is trading at $49.21. How cool is that? You've got over 8,200 stocks being tracked in one indicator, and we track that indicator, the VVC, for market timing purposes. Now, we can see we have a mixed market. Let's move over to our color guard. This is the place to be to understand how to manage your existing positions. Use the color guard like a traffic light. When you get to a yellow light, what do? Slow down. And if you don't slow down, you stand the chance of running into a red light and smashing into a car. Joey has done that many times, right, Joey? Absolutely. All right, so this is a great indicator to let you know, if nothing else, slow down in the market. Don't panic sell. The market's down today. Never panic sell. Have a plan in place. Always know when to buy, what to buy, when to sell. That's your trading plan. And go according to your trading plan to help you to make the right decisions. A lot of yellow in the color guard right now tells me it's a time to still be cautious. But we've been with the preponderance of yellow for a while. So let's take this even a step further. As we look at the mixed market today, as we look at the yellow in the color guard, a lot of it, what's making the market do what it's doing? And understand that the market has a mind of its own. You can't outguess the market, because each time you do, the market will definitely humble you. All right, so keep that in mind. Let's go out to our first story. Our first story starts with the market overview. What's making the market move? Now, keep in mind, there's three things that move markets globally: earnings, interest, and inflation. As long as earnings are good, companies are making money, they can hire more people, they can give people raises, they can invest in R&D, all of those things. And once you do that, you're putting money back into the economy, right? So earnings is the biggest mover of a market. The other two things are interest and inflation. Now, the Fed, I always talk about stories about what's going on with the Fed. The Fed's job is to make sure that jobs are in play, that we have a working economy, working people, and that interest rates and inflation are kept under control. So, interest is a bad guy compared to earnings. Earnings is the good guy, interest and inflation are the bad guys. When interest is up, people have to pay more money when they borrow money. Takes money out of your pocket. When inflation is up, you pay more for goods, takes money out of your pocket, takes money out of the economy. So the Fed's job is to make sure that interest and inflation are under wraps. Well, let's take a snapshot of what's going on. Earnings. Well, earnings may not be so good so far this quarter, but we'll keep our eyes on that. Interest rates still at historic lows. So good time to borrow money and pay back at a lower interest rates, but that's good for the economy. And inflation, well, they say that inflation is in line. Well, let me tell you a little something. When I go to the store, I'm spending a little bit more money for my goods, so I'm thinking inflation is becoming a problem. Taking all of that in mind, let's see what the Fed's saying. The Fed meeting to deliberate on when to roll out policy details. So the Fed policy is what helps to keep the economy either floating or below water. And the Fed has done everything that they can to keep our economy as strong as it can be. If you look globally, most countries are in recessionary periods. Well, overall, we are in a bear market scenario, but still, we have one of the strongest currencies in the global market. People are still looking to us, and the Fed's job is to try to keep that going. So they're understanding what they're going to do with their policy details. The Fed had a meeting this week. What did they say? That they're moving more from a policy of trying to stabilize the economy to being more accommodative. That's good for the economy. But keep in mind, the economy is running, the market is running, but the market's getting tired. And the Fed's job trying to bolster the economy and bolster from the economy to the market, which they are two different things, bolster the economy and the market. Man, the market's saying at some point in time, it's not an if, but it's going to be a when the market does get tired. When is it going to happen? We will keep our eyes on that. But Fed policy is really being dictated by what's going on with the coronavirus, the pandemic. All right, so doing what's going on within the pandemic, within the coronavirus, will definitely put a big spin on what the policy details are. Another thing, the Fed extends emergency lending programs by 3 months. What does this mean? The Fed is doing everything that it can to keep companies working. All right. Besides that, Congress is doing everything that it can to keep companies working and to keep the unemployed people with some money in their pockets to be able to pay bills. So the next stimulus plan is coming out. What's going to be in it? It's a lot of ambiguity of what's going to be in it right now. They're thinking about taking the $600 that they're giving a month for unemployment extra and dropping it down to $200. They may be still giving out checks or direct deposits for $1,200, but only now for people who are making $40,000 or less. There's a lot of scuttlebutt going around what's going to happen. We won't know until it's finalized as to what's going on. Now, another thing, jobless claims came out this morning. Jobless claims remain stubbornly steady at 1.4 million. That's the second week in a row that jobless claims are above 1.1 million. And look at this. The total job losses over the past 16 weeks are now 56 million people. That's a lot of people out of work, which is about 34% of the U.S. workforce. So keep in mind that coronavirus hit. Keep in mind that we tried to do a soft reopening. We had a resurgence in coronavirus cases. People are backing off again. And as they back off, companies are still cutting back on hours for employees. So a lot of things are being done to help the people within the economy and help the companies who employ the people within the economy. And just keep in mind that the Fed spigots are wide open to help bolster the economy. So let's take this news. Let's go back into the software. And every week we create a watch list of the stocks that we want to see or stocks that are making my news story. So let's go to the Viewers tab. We're going to go to the Viewers tab and we're going to go to the Watchlist Viewer. And again, for those of you who do not have a VectorVest subscription, Joey's going to put the link in there again. It gives you access to the software, 99 cents for 30 days. I'm going to go to my Trending Thursday folder, and let's go find 730. These are the stocks that we're going to cover today. We're going to cover a total of about 18 stocks today. And the first 2 stocks we're going to look at are for the market. For those of you who are not subscribers to the VectorVest software, we're going to look at this staple, the S&P 500. That's a good guide to let you know what's truly going on in the market. 500 of the best stocks or better stocks within the market. And then we're going to also look at our VectorVest composite for those people who are subscribers to the VectorVest software. Remember, this is one indicator that tracks the move of over 8,200 stocks. That's huge. All right, now that they're both highlighted, notice that the spiders has a buy, the VectorVest composite has a hold. Let's go right-click on these 2 stocks and view the stock graph. As we pull that up, here's the spiders, and I always like to look at a 3-month graph because earnings happens every quarter. I want to make sure that the earnings picture is captured within my graph. As I look at the S&P 500, prior to the last couple of days, it bounced off a level of support at 299.30, hit a new high on 723, which was a 3-month high, and for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, it's been moving sideways. Now, the market is looking for a top. I'm going to show you that in a second. But looking at down, up, down, back and forth, which is a great characteristic of a market that's looking toppy. I'm going to move this over for a second. That's one. That's the S&P 500. Let's use what we use here in VectorVest. Here we are. Same kind of scenario, down, down, up, down, up, down. The market is at a level of resistance, which is a high of $49.45. But we have an indicator as a VectorVest subscriber, which will tell you when the market is truly looking for a top. That indicator is known as the MTI. I'm going to add that parameter, capital appreciation. Oh, I'm looking at the VVC. I got to do this a little differently. Let's go. I'm going to add a new. I'm going to put this on a market timing graph. Same scenario, except for this is still looking at the VVC, but just overall market timing graph. There's that MTI, our market timing indicator. When this indicator gets to a level of about, gets to a level of about 1.5 to 1.6, the market is looking for a top. I'm going to draw a line here at about 1.5. And someone said to me earlier this morning that, hey, are we looking for a top? And I'm going to be saying that we've been looking for a top for a minute. All right, look at this level. When the market gets to the level of about 1.5 to 1.6, the market's looking for a top. How about this? The market's still been running. As the market is looking for a top, what's going to happen? The market's going to get tired, and at some point in time, it will pull back. Now, if you are a VectorVest subscriber, within our nightly information, we tell people that currently we are in a case 8 bear market scenario. Without me getting deeper into that, take a trial, 99 cents, where you'll get all the updated information about, from a market timing perspective, what's really, truly going on. All right, so the market is moving. The market is looking for a top. Could this be the entree to a real bear market? Well, we'll see. Remember, we are in a case 8 bear market scenario. What should you be doing right now? If you're still long in the market, you should be tightening stops. Am I telling you that it's time to sell stocks short yet? Let the market come to you. Let the market break through some level of resistance. How about this? Here's our last high, sitting at about $48.56. Let me make that a little darker for you. How about we wait to see if the market can break down through that level before we're ready to say that it's time to sell stocks short? As the market's moving sideways, this is a great time to limit your losses. Take some wins when you can, but limit your losses and tighten stops on the stocks that you currently own. All right, with that, do I have any questions, Joey? Joey says, I have no questions. So either I confused you or I did a great representation of what's really going on in the market and how to trade it. As you're seeing the market's moving sideways moving markets normally mean it's a trader's market. On a trader's market, you play the up days on the up days, play the down days on the down days. If you're a longer term investor and you don't want to get into that game, tighten your stops in the stocks that you own right now.